Why does no one dare to touch North Korea? Power from mighty allies. Welcome back to our channel. Throughout history, major powers have often sought to invade and turn smaller economies into their colonies. In the modern era, such actions still occur, though they are now framed under different pretexts such as protecting human rights, combating extremism, or toppling authoritarian regimes. This was the case in Yugoslavia in 1999, Iraq in 2003, and Libya in 2011. However, North Korea, a country notorious for alleged human rights violations and authoritarianism, remains untouched despite the presence of 28,500 heavily armed U.S. troops stationed just south of its border in South Korea. So, what is the reason for this? Let's find out in today's video. North Korea, a mysterious nation. Before we explore the reasons why the Democratic People's Republic of Korea has avoided invasion, let's take a brief look at this country. Poverty in North Korea is often highlighted repeatedly by Western media, with particular emphasis on the famine that plagued the nation in the mid-1990s. According to a 2006 report, North Korea requires approximately 5.3 million tons of grain per year. Yet it only produces around 4.5 million tons, relying on foreign aid to address this shortfall. According to the West, hunger continues to be a systemic issue, with reports in 2021 suggesting widespread famine. However, there are also other perspectives on North Korea. Surprisingly, North Korea provides free education up to high school, encouraging students to develop independence and creativity through reasoning-based learning. Healthcare is also free. Furthermore, the country is capable of producing subways, airplanes, smartphones, tablets, computers, its own operating system, satellite software, and its own private internet network. Problems such as homelessness, prostitution, or illegal drugs are reportedly absent. Overall, North Korea has a relatively developed industrial base, especially in heavy industry, but its economy is underdeveloped due to large-scale sanctions and the heavy prioritization of military spending. Nonetheless, North Korea remains a tempting target due to its rich rare earth resources and strategic position, which could control northeast China. So, why hasn't the US military invaded it as it did in Iraq or Libya? Let's dive deeper in the next part of this video. In reality, China has a significant strategic interest in maintaining North Korea as an ally. The United States' island chain strategy blocks China's access to the open ocean. The first island chain, beginning at the Senkaku Islands and extending to Borneo and northern Philippines, hinders China's maritime movements. Given the importance of sea trade to economic development, an ally like North Korea is invaluable to China. Furthermore, the Korean Peninsula represents a remnant of the Cold War era, with Pyongyang aligned with China in the north and Seoul with the United States in the south. If South Korea were to reunify the peninsula, the US would have the freedom to position missiles right on China's border. To protect its own security, China would need to deploy forces along the 1.400-kilometer border with Korea, a significantly more costly strategy than simply maintaining North Korea as a buffer zone. North Korea and Pakistan are among China's few reliable allies. If North Korea were to collapse, Beijing would face a massive refugee crisis. So China will not abandon this ally and will protect the North Korean regime at any cost. A historical example of this commitment is the Korean War from 1950 to 1953. Despite its own civil war just concluding, Mao Zedong did not hesitate to challenge the United States to defend North Korea. Additionally, many of North Korea's financial operations, both legal and illegal, occur within China, allowing North Korea to access hard currency despite United Nations sanctions. North Korea also generates around $500 million through the sale of garments labeled, "Made in China." Furthermore, North Korea is far from weak. It possesses formidable weaponry. In late 2012, North Korea launched a satellite, which the West suspected was to test long-range missile technology. In early 2013, North Korea conducted its third nuclear test, defying even China's calls for restraint. This test led to escalated tensions, bringing North Korea to the brink of war with South Korea, a U.S. ally. North Korea has also repeatedly threatened to shut down the Kaesong industrial complex, a joint project between the two Koreas, and has made threats to devastate South Korea. They have even warned of possible attacks on U.S. soil. When considering North Korea's nuclear capabilities, it is clear they are not to be underestimated. They have the capacity to threaten the US, at least indirectly. North Korea's HWASONG-17 Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, ICBM, can be launched from mobile platforms, significantly enhancing its survivability against enemy retaliation. According to US intelligence, this ICBM can carry multiple decoys and independent warheads, making it difficult for missile defense systems to intercept. While these capabilities may not directly threaten the US mainland, they represent a serious issue for Japan, South Korea, and the US military bases in the region. North Korea's military power is not limited to nuclear weapons. Among its most formidable non-nuclear assets are its M189 and M178 self-propelled artillery. Positioned in the Demilitarized Zone, DMZ, these can turn Seoul into rubble, countering US and South Korean reconnaissance systems. North Korea has also built numerous underground tunnels in mountainous areas. Although the artillery's firing rate is slow, this disadvantage is mitigated by their sheer numbers. Another key non-nuclear weapon is the KN-25 and KN-9 rocket artillery, which provides a significant long-range strike capability without relying on nuclear arms. The KN-25, in particular, can hit targets up to 400 kilometers away, covering almost all of South Korea. Due to its long range, many regard it as a tactical ballistic missile. Additionally, it has satellite navigation and can move up to 850 kilometers at 80 kilometers per hour, helping it evade US and South Korean detection. The KN-05, meanwhile, has twice as many launch tubes, allowing North Korea to rely on quantity over quality. With a range of 200 kilometers, 1.66 times the distance from Hanoi to Haiphong. However, this is not simply an issue of power. Even if the Kim family and the Workers' Party were removed, it's uncertain if the North Korean people would truly be better off. In 2011, Libyans ousted Gaddafi, who they viewed as a dictator. But life has only worsened since, with civil war erupting just 2 months after his death. From a high-income country, over 1 million Libyans now live in poverty, many reliant on foreign aid. By 2018, the United Nations even warned of a resurgence in slave markets. Similarly, post-Saddam Iraq remains unstable, with Western corporations reaping millions daily from its resources, while US aid primarily benefits pro-Western elites instead of ordinary Iraqis. North Korea may be poor compared to South Korea, but living with hope amid relative peace may be preferable to enduring daily bombings as seen in Libya or Syria. Looking at South Korea's prosperity, some attribute North Korea's poverty solely to its authoritarian regime. While South Korea is indeed a rich, democratic nation, its wealth did not materialize overnight but was built through generations of hard work. Interestingly, this transformation began under the authoritarian leadership of Park Chung-hee, who shared some similarities with North Korea's current leaders. Thus, South Korea's wealth may owe less to democracy itself than to other factors. North Korea's current way of life, while challenging, includes industrial development aided substantially by China. Furthermore, although Western media often portrays North Korea as executing citizens frequently, there is skepticism about whether these reports are exaggerated. This raises questions about the true nature of the Kim regime. In conclusion, China's support, combined with North Korea's significant military capabilities, has deterred the US from taking direct action against North Korea. In some respects, North Korea has shown remarkable resilience in facing off against a superpower like the United States for so many years. Observing countries that have fallen into chaos after ousting authoritarian regimes, one can understand why the North Korean people have had to develop such resilience. This makes me appreciate Vietnam's diplomatic acumen and the enduring spirit of our ancestors, which have earned us US respect without nuclear arms. Looking at the current situations in North and South Korea, I am proud to be Vietnamese. What do you think about the reasons why no country dares to attack North Korea? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and hit the notification bell. Goodbye for now, and see you next time.